My son called me, said, "Plans changed. Mom, don't come up to the ski lodge. My wife wants an intimate Christmas with her parents." That was it. No greeting. No apology. No explanation. 24 hours later, the Christmas cards were canceled. The ski lodge was sold to an investor, and I was flying toward the Caribbean. When my son finally reached the mountain through a blizzard, the key didn't work, and I was already 3,000 miles away, standing on a balcony, watching the sun sink into the ocean. I was sitting in my kitchen in Reno when the text came in. Tuesday morning, December 17th. 7 days before Christmas Eve. 2 suitcases were open on the floor in front of me, packed to the zipper with winter clothes. Thick sweaters, boots, scarves, gloves. Gifts wrapped carefully in red and gold paper were stacked beside them. I'd just finished packing the ornaments for the lodge tree. Glass snowflakes, fragile and delicate. The kind that sparkle when the light hits them just right. I'd bought them specifically for this Christmas. My phone buzzed on the counter. I picked it up and read the message. Then I read it again and again. Plans changed. Don't come up to the ski lodge. My wife wants an intimate Christmas with her parents. Sorry for the late notice. We'll catch up in the new year. No, Mom. No, I'm sorry. No, I know you were excited. Just plans changed. I set the phone down slowly and looked around the kitchen. At the suitcases. The wrapped presents. The box of ornaments waiting by the door. 8 years. 8 years of canceled plans and last-minute excuses. Something came up at work. Jessica's not feeling well. The kids have a thing. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every birthday. Promises that dissolved like sugar in water. I walked into the living room and opened the hall closet. On the top shelf sat a cardboard box with black marker written across the side. Lodge Xmas 2024. Inside was a small artificial Christmas tree. 3 feet tall, already strung with lights. I'd bought it specifically for the grandkids. Emma was 7. Liam was 5. And I barely knew them. I'd seen Emma twice in her life. Once when she was born. Once when she was 3. When Ryan and Jessica passed through Reno on their way to Disneyland. They stayed for 4 hours. 4 hours. Liam I'd met once. At the hospital the day he was born. Ryan let me hold him for 10 minutes before Jessica said she needed to rest. That was 5 years ago. Since then, it had been photos. Occasional FaceTime. Calls where the kids stared at the screen like they weren't sure who I was. Jessica always hovering just off camera. Ryan distracted, checking his phone, rushing the call. And every year the same promise. This year we'll spend Christmas at the lodge. Like old times. My second husband, Tom, bought the ski lodge in 2015. Lake Tahoe, California side. 3 bedrooms, a stone fireplace. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the mountain. It was our dream. We planned to retire there, host family holidays, fill the place with noise, laughter, memories. Tom died suddenly in 2020. A heart attack. No warning. I was 62. He was 68. He left me the lodge, his pension, his life insurance, and a handwritten note I still kept in my nightstand. Make sure Ryan brings the grandkids. Don't let him make excuses. Every year after Tom died, I invited Ryan and his family. I offered to pay for flights. I offered to cook. I offered to do everything. Every year excuses. Until this year. 3 months ago, Ryan said yes. He confirmed the dates. December 23rd through December 26th. I'd been planning for weeks. I bought board games, coloring books. I stocked the kitchen with food I thought the kids would like. I even bought a high chair for Liam, even though he was probably too old for it now. I addressed 4 Christmas cards and left them unsealed on the dining room table. Ryan. Jessica. Emma. Liam. Can't wait to see you. Love, Grandma. I hadn't mailed them. I wanted to give them in person. After the text, I picked up my phone and called Ryan. It rang 6 times. Voicemail. I hung up and texted instead. Can we talk? I'd really like to see the kids for Christmas. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Jessica already made plans with her parents. It's too late to change. Sorry. Her parents lived in Sacramento, 90 miles from the lodge. They could have done both, unless intimate Christmas meant without me. I walked to the window and stared out at Reno in winter. Gray streets, brown hills, snow-covered mountains in the distance. I thought about Tom, about the last thing he said to me in the hospital, just before the machines went quiet. Don't let Ryan walk all over you. You're stronger than you think. I'd promised him, but I hadn't kept that promise. I picked up my phone again and scrolled to a name I hadn't called in months. Frank Morrison. He'd sold Tom and me the lodge back in 2015. He answered on the second ring. Carol, Merry Early Christmas. I need to sell the lodge, I said, fast. There was a long pause. Are you serious? Completely. I need it sold by tomorrow. By the end of the day, everything changed. The cards were cancelled. The credit cards were frozen. The beneficiaries were changed. The documents were signed. And before my son ever reached the mountain, the locks on the lodge were already replaced. They were pulling into the driveway just as the snow started coming down harder. The headlights cut through the darkness, illuminating the familiar curve of the mountain road. Ryan parked the SUV, shut off the engine, and for a moment, everything probably felt exactly the way he'd imagined it would. Christmas in the mountains, fresh snow, the kids bundled up and excited, the lodge waiting for them, warm and ready. They unloaded the car, breath fogging in the cold air. Jessica handed Emma her coat. Liam complained about the gloves. Ryan laughed, the sound sharp and confident, the sound of a man who believed everything was still under his control. Ryan walked up the stone steps toward the front door. He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out the key. The same key I'd given him in 2021. The day I told him the lodge would be his someday. He slid the key into the lock. It didn't turn. He pulled it out, frowned, tried again. Nothing. What Ryan didn't know was that early that morning, before I ever left for the airport, I'd called the investor and asked him to change the locks immediately. He didn't hesitate. Before Ryan even reached the mountain, it was done. The investor had texted me a photo of the new locks, shiny and unfamiliar against the old wooden door. All set. Old keys won't work. Ryan was probably standing there now in the cold, trying the key again and again. Maybe he knocked. Maybe he jiggled the handle harder, frustration creeping in. Maybe Jessica started panicking. Maybe the kids were crying. Cold, tired, confused, asking why Grandma wasn't opening the door. Maybe Ryan was yelling, his breath visible in the air, anger rising. Or maybe he was just standing there staring at the door, finally realizing something was very wrong. Understanding for the first time in 8 years that actions have consequences. I stood on a balcony in Barbados while the sky slowly darkened. The air was warm against my skin. The ocean stretched endlessly in front of me. Calm and quiet. For the first time in 8 years, I felt free. I didn't turn my phone back on for 3 days. Christmas Eve morning, I was sitting on the beach. White sand, turquoise water, a paperback novel open on my lap that I hadn't read a single page of. When I turned my phone on, it vibrated non-stop for nearly 2 full minutes. Notifications flooded the screen. 63 missed calls, all from Ryan. 42 text messages. I opened the texts and started reading them in order. December 18th, 9:47 p.m. Mom, where are you? The key doesn't work. Call me. December 18th, 10:15 p.m. Mom, this isn't funny. The kids are freezing. Call me now. December 18th, 11:03 p.m. I talked to Frank Morrison. He said you sold the lodge. What the hell is going on? December 19th, 12:34 a.m. We had to get a hotel. Do you know what hotels cost here during Christmas? This is insane. December 9th, 8:12 a.m. Mom, you can't just sell the lodge without telling me. We need to talk. December 19th, 2:45 p.m. Jessica is furious. The kids are devastated. You ruined Christmas. I hope you're happy. December 20th, 10:23 a.m. I talked to a lawyer. You might have committed fraud. The lodge was supposed to be mine. You promised. December 21st, 5:17 p.m. Fine, don't answer. But this isn't over. You owe me an explanation. December 22nd, 9:04 a.m. Jessica's parents won't even look at me. They think I lied about having a lodge. You made me look like an idiot. December 23rd, 7:38 p.m. The kids asked why Grandma hates them. What am I supposed to say? And the last one. December 24th, 6:15 a.m. Merry Christmas, Mom. I hope wherever you are, it's worth losing your family over. I set the phone down and looked out at the ocean. Then I opened the voicemails. The first one was Ryan, his voice tight, controlled, barely holding the anger back. Mom, it's Ryan. I'm standing outside the lodge. The key doesn't work. The investor Frank mentioned is here. He says he owns it now. He says you sold it yesterday. I don't understand. Call me back, please. The second voicemail was Jessica, her voice shrill, frantic, on the edge of hysteria. Carol, it's Jessica. Ryan's a mess. The kids are crying. We drove 7 hours through a blizzard for this. You couldn't even tell us you sold the lodge? What kind of person does that? Call me back and explain yourself. The third voicemail was Ryan again. Different tone this time. Calmer, calculated. Mom, I get it. You're upset about Christmas. I should have handled it better. But selling the lodge? That's extreme. Let's talk. I'm sure we can work something out with the investor. Maybe buy it back? I have some money saved. Call me. I almost laughed. Ryan made nearly $200,000 a year. Jessica made close to $90,000. They lived in a 5-bedroom house, drove 2 new cars, took vacations to Maui and Cabo, and they'd been using my credit cards. I skipped ahead. Voicemail number 8. Ryan again. But this time, his voice was different. Desperate. Mom, please. I'm sorry. I know I've been a shitty son. I know I canceled on you a lot, but you can't just disappear. What if something happened to you? What if you're hurt? I'm worried. Please call me. Just let me know you're okay. Then I checked my email. One message was from Frank Morrison. Subject, sale complete. Congratulations. Attached were the closing documents. Final sale price. Twimed $800,000 far net after taxes and fees. 2,400 was. The funds had been wired to my account on December 18th at 9:47 a.m. The exact minute Ryan was pulling into the lodge driveway. Another email sat beneath it, from an address I didn't recognize. Subject, legal notice. Breach of promise. A law firm in Sacramento. They claimed I'd promised Ryan the lodge, that selling it without his consent caused emotional and financial harm. They demanded $500,000 or they'd pursue legal action. I forwarded it to my lawyer, Donna Chen. Donna, I need help. Ryan is threatening to sue. Can we talk? Then I opened my photo album. Years of pictures scrolled past. Sunsets, mountains, the lake, a few of Tom, smiling, healthy, before the heart attack. Then older photos. Emma as a baby, Ryan holding her. Jessica beside him smiling. There was one photo of me holding Emma. Tom had taken it. Emma had just woken up from a nap and was crying. I was trying to soothe her. Ryan had said, "She doesn't really know you yet. Give her to Jess." 30 seconds later, she was gone from my arms. I kept scrolling. Liam's birth. Me holding him in the hospital. Jessica on her phone in the background. Ryan's voice echoed in my head. We should probably let Mom rest now. I closed the album. On the beach in Barbados, with the ocean stretching endlessly in front of me, I realized something had finally broken, and there was no going back. Got it. We should probably let Mom rest now. Those were the last words Ryan said before I handed Liam back after barely 10 minutes. I remembered standing there in the hospital room, my arms suddenly empty, watching Jessica scroll through her phone while Ryan hovered near the door. No one looked at me. No one said thank you. I kept scrolling through my photo album, searching for proof that I mattered in my grandchildren's lives. There wasn't much. A FaceTime screenshot from 2021. Emma making a silly face, her teeth missing. Liam in the background, sitting on the floor, pushing toy trucks. I remembered that call. Emma had waved at the screen and asked, "Who's that?" Ryan had laughed it off. Another photo from 2022. Ryan had texted it to me. Emma and Liam at Disneyland, both wearing Mickey ears, smiling wide. I wasn't in that picture. I wasn't in any of them. Not once in 8 years. It hadn't been done with cruelty. Not with shouting or insults. It was quieter than that. Slower. More effective. I was erased. I closed the photo album and opened my messages. My hands shook slightly as I started typing. Ryan, I got your messages. I'm fine. I'm in Barbados. I sold the lodge because I wanted to. You don't get to dictate what I do with my property. The legal threat is noted. My lawyer will respond. Enjoy Christmas with Jessica's parents. 3 dots appeared instantly. Typing. Stopped. Typing again. You're in Barbados? Are you serious? So you sold the lodge and just left the country without telling anyone. I stared at the screen. I don't owe you an explanation. The reply came fast. You owe me more than that. Mom, that lodge was supposed to be mine. Dad left it to you for me. My chest tightened. Tom, who had written in his note, "Make sure Ryan brings the grandkids. Don't let him make excuses." Tom, who had said on his deathbed, "Don't let Ryan walk all over you." I typed carefully. Tom left it to me. Not you. I sold it. It's done. I had every right. It was my property. Ryan replied immediately. You promised me. You said when you died I'd get it. I froze. Because he was right about one thing. In 2021, after Tom died, Ryan had asked what would happen to the lodge. I'd said, "It'll be yours someday. Someday. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not when I was 62, healthy, alive, and paying the taxes." But Ryan had heard it as a guarantee. He'd planned his life around it. I typed again. I said someday. Not today. Things changed. The dots appeared again. So you sold a $3 million property because I canceled one Christmas? I felt something harden in my chest. Not one Christmas. 8. 8 Christmases. 8 Thanksgivings. 12 birthdays. Every family event for 8 years. You chose Jessica's family over me. Every single time. A pause. Then, "That's not fair. Jessica's parents live close. It's easier." I almost laughed. It would have been easy to visit me too. 90 miles. You drove farther for Disneyland. We have kids, Mom. It's complicated. I know you have kids. I've met them twice. Emma twice. Liam once. 5 years ago. There was a longer pause this time. Then I sent the message I'd been holding back. You used my credit cards without asking. $13,000? Maui. Restaurants. Jewelry for Jessica. You make $200,000 a year. Why did you need my cards? No reply. So I kept going. You promised to visit every year. You canceled every year. You made me feel like a burden. Like 4 hours with me was too much to ask. I put the phone down and walked toward the water. The sand was cool beneath my feet. Waves rolled in and broke softly around my ankles. When I looked back at my phone, there was another message. You're right. I should have visited more. I'm sorry. But selling the lodge was too far. We can fix this. Let me buy it back from the investor. We can work out payments. He didn't have the money. Even with his salary, he'd need a massive loan. Vacation properties required at least 20% down. He'd need over $500,000 just to start. Another message came through. Mom, please. I'll do better. I'll visit more. I'll bring the kids. Just help me get the lodge back. Why are you being so cruel? Cruel. I stared at that word for a long time. 8 years of broken promises. 8 years of canceled plans. 8 years of being treated like an afterthought. I typed one final message. I'm not being cruel. I'm being free. Then I blocked his number. I blocked Jessica's too. And I turned my phone off again. That night, I ate dinner at a small restaurant by the beach. Grilled fish, fried plantains, a glass of wine. I sat alone, watching the sunset bleed into the ocean. At the table next to me, an older couple sat holding hands, maybe 75. They laughed softly. The woman mentioned they'd been married 50 years. I thought about Tom. If he were here, he'd be proud. He'd probably smile and say, "Took you long enough." The next morning, everything changed. The email from Donna Chen came later that afternoon. I was sitting on the balcony staring out at the ocean when my phone vibrated. From Donna Chen. "Carol, I've reviewed the legal notice from Ryan's attorney. It's baseless. Verbal promises regarding inheritance are not enforceable in California unless documented in writing. You didn't breach anything. I'll draft a response. Don't worry, they're bluffing." I exhaled for the first time in days. I typed back immediately. "Thank you. Also, I need to update my will. Can we do that remotely?" Her reply came less than an hour later. "Absolutely. I'll send you a questionnaire." I filled it out that same afternoon. New will. Ryan gets $10,000. Everything else. The Reno house, the investments, the pension, split between 3 charities. The Tahoe Wildlife Foundation, the Alzheimer's Association for Tom, and a scholarship fund for single mothers. I signed it digitally and sent it back. Donna confirmed shortly after. "Executed. You're all set." That night, I slept better than I had in years. On Christmas Day, I went snorkeling. The water was clear and warm. I saw sea turtles gliding slowly beneath me, schools of colorful fish moving like one body through the coral. It was beautiful. And yet, even there, floating in the middle of the ocean, I thought about Emma and Liam. I wondered if they were opening presents, if Emma still believed in Santa, if Liam was tearing paper too fast. I wondered if they asked about me. I'd been a stranger to them for most of their lives. That night, I unblocked Ryan's number. Just once. Out of curiosity more than hope. There was a single text. December 25th, 10:03 a.m. The kids are asking about you. What should I tell them? I stared at the message. What should he tell them? That their grandmother got tired of being forgotten. He wouldn't say that. He'd say I was sick, or mean, or unstable. He'd make me the villain. Maybe walking away did make me cruel. But staying would have killed me. Slowly, quietly, one canceled Christmas at a time. I blocked his number again. Then I extended my hotel stay. One more week, then another. I decided I wasn't going back to Reno. Not yet. For now, I was exactly where I needed to be. 3,000 miles away. The call came on January 3rd. I'd rented a small apartment near the beach. By then, month to month furnished. It cost less than my mortgage back in Reno. I'd even started thinking about selling the house. My phone rang at 2:00 p.m. Unknown number. California area code. I almost didn't answer. Something made me pick up. Ms. Winters, this is Detective Sarah Palmer with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. I'm calling about your grandchildren. Emma and Liam Winters. My heart stopped. What happened? I said. Are they okay? They're safe, she said. But they're currently in protective custody. Child Protective Services removed them from their parents' home this morning. Why? My voice shook. What did Ryan do? I can't give you all the details over the phone, but there was an incident. A neighbor called 911. When officers arrived, the children were home alone. Your son and daughter-in-law weren't there. Emma told us they'd been gone since the night before. I closed my eyes. We're still trying to locate them. The detective continued. But I'm calling because Emma gave us your name. She said you're her grandmother. Is that correct? Yes, I said, I am. CPS is looking for emergency placement for the children. Family is always the first option. Are you available to take them? I looked around the apartment. One bedroom, a futon in the living room. No toys, no kids' clothes. Oh, the detective said softly, hearing my hesitation. Can you return to California? The children need placement within 72 hours, or they'll be placed in foster care. Emma was 7. Liam was 5. They were my grandchildren. I can be there tomorrow, I said. Good. I'll connect you with CPS. They'll explain the process. The line transferred. A woman named Karen Liu picked up. Her voice was efficient, professional. Ms. Winters, thank you for stepping up. Emergency kinship placements move quickly. We'll need to run a background check and do a home inspection. Where do you live? Reno, I said. But I haven't been there in 3 weeks. That's fine. We'll inspect the home tomorrow. Can you be there? You'll also need to complete paperwork, fingerprinting, and a TB test. Standard procedure. She paused. One more thing. Do you have a relationship with Emma and Liam? I'm their grandmother, I said carefully. But I haven't seen them in a while. 5 years for Liam, 4 for Emma. There was silence. That's concerning, Karen said finally. The children need stability, familiar faces. Do they know you? They've seen me on FaceTime. I send birthday cards. Ms. Winters, I'm going to be honest. The court prefers placements where there's an established bond. From the children's perspective, you're almost a stranger. That can be traumatic, especially after what they've been through. What have they been through? I asked. I can't share details, she said. But they're scared, confused. They need immediate comfort. Can you provide that? Yes, I said without hesitation. I'll email the paperwork. Please get back to California as soon as possible. I booked a flight that night. Barbados to Miami. Miami to Reno. Departure 11:12 p.m. Then I called Donna Chen. She answered immediately. Carol, I was just about to call you. Did you hear about Ryan? No, I said. What happened? He was arrested last night. Jessica was with him. They left the kids home alone. Emma called a neighbor when Liam wouldn't stop crying. Where are they now? Ryan posted bail this morning. Jessica's still in custody. She had unpaid warrants. Fraud from years ago. I thought about the texts. The legal threat. The desperation. Donna, I said. CPS wants to place the kids with me. I need to pass a home inspection. Can you meet me in Reno tomorrow? Of course. What time? Morning 9. I'll be there. That night, I sat on the balcony one last time, watching the ocean. 2 weeks ago, I'd walked away from my son, from my grandchildren, from everything. Now I was flying back. Not for Ryan, for Emma and Liam. They didn't deserve this. I arrived in Reno at 6 a.m. on January 4th. The house was cold, dusty, mail piled up by the door. I turned on the heat, made coffee, and started cleaning. At 9:00 a.m., Donna arrived. She looked around. "It's a nice house," she said. "But it's not kid-friendly. Do you have beds, toys, anything for children?" "No," I said. "You'll need them today. CPS comes at 2. I grabbed my keys. "Let's go." We spent 4 hours at Target. 2 twin beds, sheets, blankets, pillows, a desk, bookshelves, toys, coloring books, clothes in sizes, I guessed. By 1:30 p.m., I'd set up 2 bedrooms. They looked plain, impersonal, but they were ready. At 2:00 p.m., Karen Lou arrived. She walked through the house, checked the smoke detectors, inspected the bedrooms. "What's your work schedule?" she asked. "I'm retired." "Good. These children need full-time supervision, especially Emma. She's been acting as a parent to Liam." I nodded, and that's when I realized something terrifying. This wasn't temporary. This was the beginning of something much bigger. That's a lot of responsibility for a 7-year-old. Karen said quietly. She stood near the dining table, clipboard in hand, scanning the notes she'd been writing since she arrived. "What about school?" she asked. "They're enrolled in Sacramento. You'll need to transfer them here, or drive them back and forth until Ryan's situation is resolved." "How long will that take?" I asked. She didn't sugarcoat it. "Depends on the case. Could be weeks. Could be months. Ryan has a court date in February. If he's convicted, the children could be with you long-term. After that, custody could revert to him unless CPS determines the home is still unsafe." She slid a stack of papers across the table. "Sign these. You're officially their emergency kinship foster parent." I stared at the forms. "You'll receive a stipend," she added. $800 a month for both children. It's not much, but it helps." Then she looked up at me, her expression serious. "Ms. Winters, I have to ask, are you ready for this? Raising 2 young children is hard, especially when you're starting from scratch." I swallowed. "Their father left when Ryan was 3, I said. "I raised him alone." Karen tilted her head slightly. "And how did that turn out?" "Ryan made his own choices, I thought. But I didn't say that out loud. I did the best I could," I said instead. "I'm not criticizing," she replied. "I'm just being honest. These kids have been through trauma. They need more than a roof over their heads. They'll need therapy, structure, patience." "I'm here," I said. "Aren't I?" Karen nodded. "You are. And that's more than a lot of grandparents would do." She gathered her things and left at 3 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, a white CPS van pulled up in front of the house. My heart started pounding. Karen stepped out first and opened the back door. Emma climbed out slowly. She was smaller than I, remembered from photos. Thin. Brown hair pulled into a messy ponytail. Jeans and a pink sweatshirt that looked like it had been slept in. Her eyes were wide, scanning everything. She looked terrified. Liam came next. Blonde hair like Jessica's. Red nose from crying. He clutched a stuffed green dinosaur so tightly his knuckles were white. Karen guided them up the porch steps. Emma looked at me. There was no recognition in her eyes. Just fear. "Hi, Emma. Hi, Liam," I said softly. "I'm Grandma Carol. Do you remember me?" Emma shook her head. Liam hid behind Karen's leg. Karen knelt down in front of them. "Emma, Liam, this is your grandma. She's gonna take care of you for a while. You're safe here, okay?" Emma didn't respond. Karen stood and looked at me. "It's going to take time," she said quietly. "Be patient." She handed me a bag. Clothes, a few toys, Emma's schoolwork. Then walked back to the van and drove away. Just like that. I was alone on the porch with 2 terrified children. "Let's go inside," I said. "It's cold." "I want Mom," Liam said. His voice was small, broken. "I know, sweetheart," I said. "But she's not here right now. You're staying with me. You're safe. I promise." Emma finally spoke. "Are you really our grandma? I don't remember you." "That's okay," I said. "We'll get to know each other." She looked down at Liam. "Come on, Lee, it's cold." She took his hand and led him inside. They stood in the living room, looking around like they'd landed on another planet. "Are you hungry?" I asked. I made grilled cheese sandwiches, sliced apples, poured milk. They ate in silence. After dinner, I showed them their rooms. Emma walked into hers and stopped. She looked at the bed, the toys, the books. "This is just for you," I said. "I've never had my own room." She said quietly. "Liam and I shared." "Well, now you have your own. You can decorate it however you want." She sat on the bed but didn't smile. Liam clutched his dinosaur in his room, eyes darting. "Do you like it?" I asked. He didn't answer. At 8:30, I got them ready for bed. I found pajamas in the bag Karen had left. Helped Liam brush his teeth. Emma did hers alone, mechanically. I tucked Liam in. "I want Mom," he said again. "I know," I said. "But for now, you're with me." "I don't like it here." "That's okay," I said. "You don't have to like it yet." I turned off the light and left the door cracked. When I checked on Emma, she was sitting on her bed. "Do you need anything?" I asked. She hesitated. "Dad said you were mean, that you hated us." The words hit me like a punch. "That's not true," I said quickly. "I don't hate you." "Then why didn't you ever visit?" "I wanted to," I said. "Your dad kept saying you were busy." "We weren't busy," she said. We were home. I sat on the edge of the bed. "Emma, your dad and I had problems, but none of this is your fault." She looked at me. "Are we going to stay here forever?" "I don't know," I said honestly. "Maybe for a little while. Maybe longer. I don't want to be here." She lay down and turned away from me. I stood in the hallway listening to Liam cry in his room. I didn't know what to do. So I sat in the living room and stared at nothing. At midnight, I checked my phone. 23 missed calls, all from Ryan. One text. "Mom, please. I need the kids back. They need to be with me. Call me," I replied once. "The kids are safe. That's all you need to know." He responded immediately. "Let me talk to them." I typed back. "You shouldn't have left them alone." "That was one mistake," he replied. "I was gone 6 hours. Emma is 7. She's responsible." I stared at the screen. Emma was responsible because Ryan had trained her to be. I typed one last message. "You don't get to talk to them until CPS says you can. Stay away." I blocked him again, and I sat in the dark, listening to my grandchildren cry in rooms down the hall, wondering if I'd just made the biggest mistake of my life. The first week was hell. Liam cried every night. Emma barely spoke. They moved through the house like ghosts. I enrolled them in school, Horstman Elementary, 3 blocks away. On the second day, Emma's teacher pulled me aside. "She's very withdrawn," Ms. Rodriguez said. "She won't participate, won't make eye contact. Is everything okay at home?" I explained the placement. "The trauma?" She nodded. "That makes sense. She may need counseling. I'm working on it," I said. I'd already called 3 therapists. All had waiting lists. March was the earliest opening. On day 3, Liam's teacher sent a note home. "Liam had an accident today during circle time. This is the 2nd time this week. Please send extra clothes." I bought pull-ups. Liam refused to wear them. "I'm not a baby," he said. He had another accident on Friday. I picked him up early. He was wearing lost and found sweatpants. His pants were in a plastic bag. He cried the whole way home. At night, I tried routines. Dinner at 6, bath at 7, bed at 8. Emma followed the routine silently. Liam fought everything. By the end of the week, I was exhausted. On January 10th, my phone rang. It was Donna Chen. "Carol, we have a problem." "What kind of problem?" "Ryan filed for emergency custody. He's claiming you're an unfit guardian." My stomach dropped. What, CPS placed them with me? I know. But he's claiming you coerced the system. That you took the kids to get revenge over the lodge. And the judge? He has a good lawyer. And Jessica's father is paying for it. I remembered meeting him once. Cold. Dismissive. What do I do? I asked. We fight back, Donna said. But you need to be prepared. Prepared for what? This is going to get ugly. Ryan is going to drag up everything. Donna said over the phone. Your age. Your relationship with the kids. The fact that you sold the lodge and left the country. I came back for them, I said. I know, Donna replied. But in court it won't look clean. You were in Barbados when CPS called. Ryan's going to argue you're unreliable. That you run when things get hard. And what about him? I snapped. He left 2 kids alone for 12 hours. He's already framing it, Donna said. One-time mistake. Jessica was supposed to be home, but she got arrested. He'll say he's a good father who made a bad decision. I paced the living room, phone pressed to my ear, watching Emma sit at the table with her homework spread out in front of her, silent as a shadow. So what do we do? I asked. We prove a pattern, Donna said. We prove this wasn't one mistake. We show the court he's unsafe. How? Do you have anything concrete? Donna asked. Texts, emails, evidence of neglect or abuse? Anything that shows what life was really like in that house? My mind raced. Emma said I never visited, I said. She said Ryan told her I was mean, that I hated them. Donna paused. That's parental alienation, she said. We can use that, but we need more. Ryan used my credit cards without permission for years, I said. He canceled Christmas 8 times. He never brought the kids to see me. Donna's voice softened, but it didn't change. Carol, that's not neglect. That's dysfunction. It's selfish, but it's not enough to keep custody from a parent. I felt my stomach drop. I don't have police reports, I admitted. I don't have medical records. I don't have witnesses. Then we build a case fast, Donna said. How fast? The hearing is in 3 weeks, she said. January 30th. 3 weeks. I hung up and stood in the middle of my living room, like the air had been knocked out of me. 3 weeks to prove I was a better option than Ryan. 3 weeks to keep Emma and Liam from being sent back to the same house that left them alone, overnight. 3 weeks to save them. Ah! That night I asked Emma to help me with dinner. She stood beside me at the counter, silent. Not rude, not defiant. Just gone. I handed her a vegetable peeler and slid a bowl of carrots toward her. Can you peel these for me? She took the peeler and started working. Her movements practiced. Automatic. She peeled like an adult. That alone made my throat tighten. Emma, I said gently, can I ask you something? She didn't look up. What was it like at home before you came here? I asked. Did your mom and dad take care of you? Did they leave you alone a lot? Her hand stopped. The peeler froze mid-motion. Sometimes, she said quietly. Once a week, more. I set my knife down slowly. Emma, I'm not trying to get you in trouble, I said. I just need to understand. She swallowed. Dad said not to talk about it, she whispered. What did he say? She stared at the carrots. He said people wouldn't understand, she said. That Mom and Dad need time alone sometimes. That I'm old enough to watch Liam for a few hours. A few hours? I repeated carefully. Emma's voice was small but steady. I don't know, she said. They leave after we go to bed. And then they come back in the morning. My stomach turned. How many times did that happen? I asked. She hesitated. More than 10, she said. I felt cold. Did you ever tell anyone? I asked. A teacher? A friend? Emma shook her head quickly. Dad said if I told they'd take us away, she said. He said we'd be put with strangers. She finally looked at me, eyes wide. He said strangers are mean. I stepped closer. You're safe now, I told her. No one is going to hurt you. Her voice trembled. Are you a stranger? The question broke something in me. Technically, I said carefully. You don't know me well, but I'm your grandma. I'm family. Emma's jaw tightened. Dad said you didn't want us, she said. That you hated us. That's not true, I said, my voice cracking. I wanted to see you so badly. Your dad kept saying you were busy. We weren't busy, she said again. We were home. Then she looked back down and started peeling carrots like nothing had happened, like she'd said something normal, like children being left alone overnight was just life. I called Donna that night. Emma just told me they left her and Liam alone overnight, I said. More than 10 times. Donna inhaled sharply. That's huge, she said. Will she say it in court? I don't know, I admitted. She's scared. Then we need a child psychologist, Donna said. Someone who can evaluate her properly. Someone who can write a report the court will respect. I've already tried calling therapists, I said. Waiting lists are insane. I'll make calls, Donna said. I know someone who specializes in custody cases. She might be able to squeeze you in. 2 days later, my phone rang. This is Dr. Lisa Park, the woman said. Calm voice, professional. Donna Chen asked me to evaluate Emma and Liam. I have an opening tomorrow at 4 p.m. Can you bring them? Yes, I said immediately. The next day, I picked the kids up from school early and drove to Dr. Park's office downtown. The waiting room had toys, books, and a fish tank with little orange fish darting between plastic plants. Liam ran straight to the toys without a word. Emma sat beside me stiff, hands folded in her lap like she was preparing for punishment. Dr. Park came out a moment later. Mid-40s, warm smile, calm energy that made you breathe slower without realizing. Hi, Emma. Hi, Liam, she said. I'm Dr. Park. I'm a feelings doctor. I help kids talk about things that are bothering them. Liam ignored her, focused on the toy blocks. Emma stared at the floor. Dr. Park looked at me. I'll see them separately, she said. Emma first. This will take about an hour. Emma stood and followed her into the office without saying a word. I sat in the waiting room with Liam. He built a tower with blocks, knocked it down, built it again. Lee, I said softly. Do you like staying with me? No, he said. Why not? I want to go home, he muttered, knocking the tower down harder. I know, I said. But you can't right now. Your mom and dad have some things they need to fix. He slammed the blocks together. I hate it here. What do you hate about it? I asked. He shrugged. Everything. An hour later, Emma came out. Her eyes were red. Dr. Park nodded at me. Liam, it's your turn. While Liam went in, I sat with Emma. Are you okay? I asked. Emma's voice was flat. I don't want to talk about it. After Liam's session, Dr. Park asked to speak with me privately. We sat in her office. She closed the door. I'll be writing a full report for the court, she said. But I want to give you a heads up. My hands were cold. Emma is showing signs of parentification, she said. What does that mean? I asked. It means she's been acting like a caregiver, Dr. Park said. She's taken on responsibilities that aren't appropriate for her age. That's emotional neglect, not necessarily physical abuse, but neglect. She's had to grow up too fast. And Liam? I asked. Liam is showing anxiety and regression, she said. The bedwetting, the emotional outbursts. Those are trauma responses. Will they recover? I asked. Yes, she said. But it takes time. Stability. They need to know they're safe. That they won't be moved again. My throat tightened. What if Ryan gets custody back? Dr. Park folded her hands. I can only report what I observe, she said. I can't tell the court what to do. But if you're asking my professional opinion, these children need consistent, reliable care. And based on what Emma told you? I asked. Dr. Park met my eyes. He's put his needs above theirs repeatedly, she said. That's a pattern. A weight lifted in my chest. Will you say that in your report? I whispered. Yes, she said. In professional terms. But yes, on January 28th, 2 days before the hearing, Donna emailed me. Carol, I have news. My hands shook as I opened it. Jessica took a plea deal. She's pleading guilty to child endangerment and fraud. She'll serve 90 days. I stared at the words. Then I read the next line. In exchange, she's agreed to testify against Ryan. I called Donna immediately. Testify about what? I asked. Donna's voice dropped. About his gambling, she said. Carol, Ryan has $380,000 in debt. Casino loans. Illegal bookies. I felt dizzy. Jessica was trying to help him pay it off. Donna continued. That's why she got arrested. Credit card scams. Fraud. She was doing it to cover his losses. I thought about my ex-husband, Ryan's father, the gambler who lost everything and walked out when Ryan was 3. I'd told myself Ryan was different, but addiction doesn't care what you tell yourself. What does this mean for the hearing? I asked. Donna exhaled slowly. It means we have leverage, she said. And for the first time since CPS dropped those kids on my porch, I felt like we might actually win. Ryan is unstable, Donna said quietly. He's in debt. He's desperate. The court is not going to give him custody in his current state. So, the kids stay with me? I asked. Most likely, she said. Unless Ryan can somehow prove you're unfit, which he can't. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. But that doesn't mean forever, Donna continued. If Ryan goes to prison, you'll be their legal guardian until he's released. If he doesn't, CPS will monitor him. If he completes parenting classes, financial counseling, and stays clean, he could petition to get them back. When? I asked. 6 months, she said. A year, maybe longer. I stared at the wall. I thought about Emma sitting at the table doing homework without being asked. About Liam sleeping through the night for the first time in weeks. About the way Emma had smiled, just once, when I made her favorite dinner. I didn't want to lose them. What if I want permanent custody? I asked. Donna didn't answer right away. That's a higher bar, she said finally. You'd have to prove Ryan is permanently unfit. That he can't change. That he's a danger to them. And if I want to try? I asked. It will be harder, she said. It will get ugly, but yes, we can fight for it. I looked down at the photo on my desk. Emma and Liam taken just a week earlier, bundled up in coats, building a crooked snowman in the yard. Emma was smiling. Liam was laughing. It was the first time I'd heard that sound from him. Let's do it, I said. Donna paused. Carol, she said carefully, this will permanently destroy your relationship with Ryan. I didn't hesitate. We don't have a relationship, I said. We haven't for years. Another pause. Okay, Donna said. I'll file the paperwork. We go to court in 2 days. That night I sat alone in the dark, listening to the soft sounds of my grandchildren sleeping down the hall, wondering if I was saving them, or tearing the last pieces of my family apart. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. Washoe County Family Court, Reno, Nevada. January 30th. No grand pillars, no drama. Just beige walls, wooden benches, and a quiet tension that sat heavy in the air. I sat at the table with Donna. Across the aisle, Ryan sat beside his lawyer. A man in an expensive suit, silver hair, sharp eyes, confident, polished. Behind Ryan sat Charles Drake, watching me. Jessica wasn't there. Still in custody. The bailiff called the room to order. Judge Patricia Calderon entered. Late 50s, steel gray hair, expression that suggested she had seen every lie a parent could tell. This is a hearing for emergency custody modification, she said. Case number FC 2025 SAO 0847. Winters versus Carol Winters. She looked up. Counsel, are you ready to proceed? Donna stood. Yes, Your Honor. Ryan's attorney stood. Ready, Your Honor. Mr. Brennan, the judge said. You may begin. Brennan walked to the front, hands folded neatly. Your Honor, he said. My client, Ryan Winters, is a devoted father who made one mistake. I felt my jaw tighten. On January 2nd, Brennan continued, he and his wife left their children with what they believed was adequate supervision. A neighbor was supposed to check in. That neighbor failed. Donna scribbled a note. When law enforcement arrived, Brennan said, they overreacted. They removed the children and placed them with Ms. Carol Winters, a woman who has been largely absent from these children's lives. I clenched my hands under the table. Ms. Winters sold the family ski lodge. Brennan continued. A property my client was promised, and then fled the country to Barbados without notice. He turned slightly, gesturing toward me. She is unreliable, vindictive, and she is using these children as pawns in a personal dispute. The judge looked directly at me. Ms. Winters, she said, is it true you sold property and left the country in December? I stood. Yes, Your Honor, I said. But I returned immediately when Child Protective Services contacted me. The judge nodded once. And how long have the children been in your care? Just under a month, I said. She made a note. When was the last time you saw your grandchildren before that? My throat tightened. 4 years ago for Emma, I said. 5 years ago for Liam. The judge raised an eyebrow. Why so long? Before I could answer, Brennan stepped in. Because Ms. Winters is difficult, he said. She demanded unreasonable accommodations and refused to respect my client's schedule. That's not true, I said. Judge Calderon raised her hand. Ms. Chen, she said calmly, you'll have your turn. She looked back at Brennan. Continue. Brennan presented messages on the screen, texts where I'd asked Ryan to visit. His responses, too busy, not a good time, maybe next year. Brennan framed them as me being demanding, pushy. Then he called Ryan to the stand. Ryan walked to the witness box and raised his right hand. He looked thinner than I remembered. Older. His suit hung awkwardly on his frame. Mr. Winters, Brennan said. Tell the court about your relationship with your mother. Ryan glanced at me, then looked away. It's complicated, he said. My mom, she was controlling when I was growing up. She didn't approve of my wife. She made holidays stressful. Brennan nodded sympathetically. Did you ever prevent her from seeing your children? No, Ryan said quickly. She was always welcome. But she demanded long visits, specific dates. It was hard to manage. And the ski lodge? Brennan asked. Did she promise it to you? Yes, Ryan said. Multiple times. She said it would be mine when she died. And how did it feel when she sold it without telling you? Ryan swallowed. Like I didn't matter, he said. Like I was disposable. Brennan turned to the judge. No further questions, Your Honor. Ryan sat back down. I didn't recognize the man across from me anymore. Or maybe I finally did. Brennan nodded slowly, then turned toward the judge. And now, he said, voice measured, Ms. Winters is using the same tactic with the children, taking them away to punish my client. Objection, Donna said immediately. Speculation. Sustained. Judge Calderon replied without hesitation. Mr. Brennan, stick to facts. Brennan inclined his head, stepped back. No further questions, Your Honor. Donna stood. I have a few questions, she said calmly. She walked toward the witness stand and stopped directly in front of Ryan. Mr. Winters, she said, you described your mother as controlling. Can you give the court a specific example? Ryan hesitated. She wanted us to visit every holiday, he said. It was a lot of pressure. Donna tilted her head slightly. Every holiday? She repeated. Or just Christmas and Thanksgiving? Ryan shifted. Mostly those. So, Donna continued evenly, you're saying it's unreasonable for a grandmother to want to see her. Grandchildren twice a year. That's not what I said, Ryan replied quickly. She'd guilt-trip me. She'd say things like, I never see the kids, or they're growing up without me. Donna didn't raise her voice, and those statements were true, weren't they? Ryan didn't answer. Donna took a step closer. Mr. Winters, how many times have Emma and Liam seen their grandmother in the last 5 years? Ryan shrugged. I don't know, a few. A few, Donna repeated. Can you be specific? Maybe 3 or 4 times, he said. Donna nodded. 3 or 4 times in 5 years, she said. That's less than once a year. She let that settle. Too busy to drive 90 miles? She asked. Too busy for a FaceTime call? Donna reached into her folder and held up a document. I have phone records here, she said. In 2024, you called your mother 6 times. Ryan's jaw tightened. 3 of those calls were about money, Donna continued. One was about the ski lodge, and 2 were on holidays. She glanced at the judge. The average call length was 4 minutes. Does that sound accurate, Mr. Winters? Ryan swallowed. If you say so. Donna didn't respond to that. Let's talk about January 2nd, she said instead. You and your wife left Emma and Liam home alone. Correct? Yes, Ryan said. We had an emergency. What kind of emergency? Donna asked. My mother-in-law was sick, Ryan replied. And where were you? We drove to Sacramento. How long were you gone? Ryan hesitated. A few hours, he said. Donna looked down at her notes. 12 hours, Mr. Winters, she said. Emma told investigators you left at 8 p.m. on January 1st and didn't return until 8 a.m. on January 2nd. Ryan stared at the floor. And during that time, Donna continued, you left a 7-year-old in charge of a 5-year-old. Overnight. Emma is mature for her age, Ryan said defensively. She can handle it. She is 7, Donna said flatly. She paused. Mr. Winters, she continued. This wasn't the first time, was it? Ryan glanced toward Brennan. Objection, Brennan said quickly. Relevance. This goes to a pattern of neglect, Donna said. Your Honor. Judge Calderon nodded once. Overruled, she said. Answer the question, Mr. Winters. Ryan shifted in his seat. I don't know what she's talking about. Donna's voice stayed steady. Emma told Dr. Lisa Park, she said, a court-appointed child psychologist, that you and your wife left her and Liam alone overnight multiple times. She held his gaze. Is that true? She's confused, Ryan said. She's a child. Donna leaned in slightly. Or you're lying, Mr. Winters. Objection, Brennan snapped. Badgering the witness. Sustained, Judge Calderon said. Move on, Ms. Chen. Donna nodded once. She changed direction. Mr. Winters, she said. How much debt are you currently carrying? Ryan went pale. I don't see how that's relevant, he said. Answer the question, the judge said. I have some debt, Ryan muttered. Everyone does. Donna pulled out another document. According to financial records, she said, you owe approximately $380,000. Ryan's head snapped up. Most of it, Donna continued. To casinos and illegal bookmakers. She paused. Is that correct? Ryan didn't answer. And your wife, Jessica, Donna said, was arrested for credit card fraud. She was attempting to help you pay off these debts, wasn't she? Ryan's mouth opened, then closed. You don't know, Donna said quietly. Or you don't want to admit it. Objection, Brennan said sharply. Argumentative. Donna took one step closer to the stand. When your mother sold the lodge, she said. You were counting on that money, weren't you? Ryan's face flushed. You needed it to cover your debts. Silence. That's why you're fighting for custody, Donna continued. Not because you suddenly became a devoted father, but because you lost a financial lifeline. Brennan shot to his feet. Objection, Your Honor. Donna didn't stop. Why did you tell Emma her grandmother hated her? She asked. Why did you tell your children their grandmother didn't want to see them? When the truth is, you kept them away? You lied to them, Donna said. You lied to this court, and you've been using your children as leverage to get what you want. Enough, Judge Calderon said sharply. Ms. Chen, tone it down. Donna stepped back. No further questions. Ryan stumbled as he returned to his seat. He looked broken. Donna stood again. The defense calls Dr. Lisa Park. Dr. Park took the stand and was sworn in. In my professional opinion, she said calmly, Emma has experienced parentification. She's been forced into a caregiver role inappropriate for her age, she continued. Liam is exhibiting trauma responses. Anxiety, regression, emotional instability. She looked toward the judge. These children have been emotionally neglected. They require stable, consistent care. She paused. Ms. Carol Winters has provided that. The courtroom was silent. Judge Calderon leaned back slightly, eyes unreadable, and I realized everything now rested on what she would decide next. Ms. Winters has not. Donna finished quietly. The room was silent. Then Brennan stood. He adjusted his cufflinks, walked toward the witness stand, and looked directly at Dr. Park. "Dr. Park," he said smoothly, "isn't it true that removing children from their parents is traumatic?" "Yes," Dr. Park replied. "It can be. And wouldn't it be less traumatic," Brennan continued, "to return them to their father?" Dr. Park didn't hesitate. "Not if the father is unsafe." Brennan lifted his eyebrows. "So you're saying Mr. Winters is unsafe?" "I'm saying," Dr. Park replied carefully, "that Mr. Winters has demonstrated a pattern of prioritizing his own needs over his children's." She paused. "That is a red flag." Brennan stepped back. "No further questions." Donna stood again. "The defense calls Carol Winters." My legs felt weak as I walked to the stand. I raised my right hand, swore to tell the truth, and sat down. Donna's voice was gentle. "Ms. Winters," she said, "why did you come back from Barbados?" "Because Emma and Liam needed me," I said. "And I didn't want them to end up in foster care." "Even though you barely knew them?" Donna asked. "They're my grandchildren," I said. "I love them, even if I haven't always been able to show it." "And are you willing to raise them long term?" she asked. I looked across the courtroom. Ryan was staring at the table, his hands clenched. "Yes," I said. "Even if it means losing your relationship with your son?" Donna asked softly. I thought about Emma's smile, about Liam's laugh, about the sound of them sleeping safely down the hall. "Yes," I said. "If that's the cost." Donna nodded. No further questions. Brennan stood. "Ms. Winters," he said, "you are 62 years old, correct?" "Yes." "Isn't it true that raising young children at your age will be difficult?" "Maybe," I said, "but I'm capable." "You sold a multi-million-dollar property," Brennan continued, "and left the country. That doesn't sound stable." "I came back when it mattered," I said. "But you left in the first place," he pressed. "What's to stop you from leaving again?" I turned toward Judge Calderon. "Because I've spent the last month proving it," I said. "I enrolled them in school. I arranged therapy. I adjusted my life. I paused. I'm here. Ryan wasn't." The courtroom was silent again. Judge Calderon looked at Ryan, then at me. "I've heard enough," she said. "I'll take this under advisement." She struck the gavel. "I'll issue a ruling within 48 hours. Court is adjourned." I sat there shaking. Donna put her hand on my shoulder. "You did great," she whispered. Ryan walked past me without looking. Charles Drake followed, stopped briefly, leaned in. "You're going to regret this," he said quietly. 2 days later, the ruling came. Judge Calderon granted me temporary custody. 6 months, renewable. Ryan was ordered to complete parenting classes, anger management, and financial counseling. He was allowed supervised visits, 2 hours a week. If he complied, he could petition again in 6 months. If he didn't, I could file for permanent guardianship. I called Donna. "What does this mean?" I asked. "It means you won," she said. "For now. And if Ryan doesn't follow through, the kids are yours permanently." That night, I sat Emma and Liam down. "You're staying with me for a while longer," I said. Emma nodded. "Didn't say anything." Liam looked up. "Can we see Dad?" "Yes," I said. "Once a week, with a supervisor." "I want to see him now." "I know," I said. "But we have to follow the rules." Emma slipped her arm around Liam. "It's okay, Lee," she said. "Grandma's nice." It was the first time she'd called me Grandma. I started crying. 3 weeks later, Ryan had his first supervised visit. I dropped the kids off at CPS. A social worker supervised. Ryan was already there. He looked thinner, older. Emma ran to him and hugged him. Ryan held both kids and cried. He looked at me. "Thank you," he said. "Can we talk?" I nodded once. 2 hours later, I picked them up. Emma was quiet in the car. "How was it?" I asked. "Good," she said. "Dad said he's sorry. He said he's getting help." She hesitated. "He said he misses us." She looked out the window. "Do you think we'll go back to him?" I didn't answer right away. "I don't want to," she said finally. "Why not?" I asked gently. Because I like it here with you. I pulled into the driveway and turned off the car, and for the first time I felt something settle in my chest. Not victory, not revenge, but relief. You can love your dad, I said softly, and still be safe with me. Emma nodded. Okay. That night I tucked her into bed. She pulled the blanket up to her chin and looked at me, really looked at me, like she was memorizing my face. Grandma, she said. Thank you for coming back. I leaned down and kissed her forehead. Always, I said. 2 years later, I stood in the kitchen watching Emma help Liam with his homework. She was 9 now. He was 7. Legally, permanently. Ryan had tried, for a while. For 6 months, he did what the court asked. Parenting classes, counseling, supervised visits. He showed up on time. He said the right things. Then he missed one visit. Then another. By August 2025, he stopped calling altogether. In October, CPS found him in Las Vegas, drunk, sitting at a casino table. He'd gambled away 3 months of rent money in a single weekend. Donna filed for permanent guardianship in November. Ryan didn't contest it. The judge granted it in December. 2 days before Christmas, Ryan signed away his parental rights. Jessica was out of jail by then. She'd moved to Oregon, started over. She didn't fight for custody either. Charles Drake called me once. Told me I'd destroyed his daughter's life. I hung up without responding. It was February 2027. Emma was doing well in school. Honor roll. She'd made friends. Joined a soccer team. Liam still struggled. Anxiety, nightmares, loud noises. But therapy was helping. Slowly. They both called me Grandma now. Sometimes just Carol. I was okay with both. I sold the Reno house the year before. Too big. Too many memories. We moved closer to their school. 3 bedrooms, a small yard, and a dog. Liam named him Rex, a golden retriever, goofy and sweet. I went back to work part-time, consulting remotely for a veterinary nonprofit. Flexible hours, enough to stay busy without disappearing. The money from the lodge sale was mostly gone. Legal fees, living expenses, college funds for the kids. What was left was enough. I didn't need more than that. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, I got a letter. Return address, Sacramento County Jail. I almost threw it away. The handwriting was shaky, uneven. I opened it. I know you don't want to hear from me. I don't blame you. I ruined everything. The lodge, the kids. I'm writing because I'm getting sober. For real this time. I've been in jail for 3 months. Probation violation. I'll be out in May. When I get out, I'm going to rehab. 6 months in Arizona. I'm not asking for anything. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect to see Emma and Liam. I just want them to know I love them, even if I was a terrible dad. Even if I lost them. Tell them I'm sorry. Tell them I'm trying. I folded the letter and put it in a drawer. That night we ate spaghetti. Emma's favorite. Do you ever think about your dad? I asked. Emma shrugged. Sometimes, she said. It feels like a long time ago. Do you want to see him? I asked. She looked at Liam. He was focused on his plate. Maybe someday, she said. Not now. That's okay, I said. You don't have to. Is he okay? She asked. I think, I said carefully. He's trying. We cleared the plates. Played a board game. Laughed. At bedtime, Emma stopped me. Grandma, she said. Can I ask you something? Of course. For all the years he ignored us, she said slowly. For the lies. For making me feel like I didn't matter. Are you angry at him? I sat on the edge of her bed. I am, I said. I'm angry. I paused. But I don't hate him. He's still my son. She nodded, thinking. Do you think he'll get better? I don't know, I said honestly. I hope so. And if he does, would you let him see us? That wouldn't be my decision, I said. That would be yours. And Liam's, she smiled faintly. I'm glad we're here with you. She hugged me. 5 years earlier, I'd chosen myself. I'd sold a house. I'd boarded a plane. I'd watched the sunset 3,000 miles away. People thought I'd walked away from my family. But the truth was simpler. I finally stopped letting myself disappear. And by doing that, I saved the 2 people who mattered most. The key that didn't work? Unlocked everything. He's still my son, Emma said quietly. Do you think he'll get better? I don't know, I said honestly. I hope so. She was quiet for a moment. And if he does, she asked, would you let him see us? That wouldn't be my decision, I said. That would be yours. And Liam's, she nodded. I don't think I want to, she said. Not yet. Then you don't have to. She hesitated. But maybe when I'm older. She hugged me tightly. I'm glad we're here with you. 3 months later, another letter arrived. Ryan was out of jail, in rehab in Arizona. He included a photo. He looked thinner, but healthier. Clearer eyes. Mom, I'm 90 days sober. Longest I've been clean in years. They're teaching me accountability. How to make amends. I know I can't fix what I broke, but I'm trying to be better. I don't expect a response. I just wanted you to know. I showed the letter to Emma. She read it carefully, then handed it back. I think he's trying, she said. Do you want to write back? I asked. She shook her head. Not yet. By July, another letter came. 6 months sober. I'm out of rehab. Living in Tucson. I got a job. Construction. Honest work. I'm not asking to see the kids, but I'd like to see you. Just once. To say I'm sorry. If not, I understand. I looked at the calendar. August 10th. 2 years and 7 months since I sold the lodge. 2 years and 6 months since Emma and Liam came to live with me. Ryan wanted to meet. I called Donna. He can't take the kids back, she said. You have permanent guardianship. But do you want to see him? She asked. That question stayed with me. Part of me was still angry. Part of me wanted an apology. Part of me wanted to believe he'd changed. 2 weeks later, I replied, I'll meet you once. Neutral place. I'll tell you when. We met in a small coffee shop in Tucson. Ryan was already there. He stood when he saw me. He looked older, thinner, grayer. We ordered drinks, sat in silence. Thank you for coming, he said finally. Why did you want to see me? I asked. He looked down. To say I'm sorry. For everything. The lodge. The kids. You. He swallowed. I was selfish. Entitled. I hurt you. I hurt Emma and Liam. I don't expect forgiveness, he said. I just needed you to know I see it now. What changed? I asked. Rehab, sobriety therapy, he said. I had to really look at myself, and I didn't like what I saw. I raised you to be kind, I said. To show up. And you didn't, he nodded. You're right. I took a breath. Why did you push me away? I asked. Why keep the kids from me? He was quiet for a long time. Because you reminded me of my failures, he said. It was easier to avoid you than face what I wasn't. And you lied to the kids, I said. Told them I didn't want them? He closed his eyes. I know. I hate myself for that. I can't let you back into their lives yet, I said calmly. They're happy, stable. I won't risk that. He nodded. But I'll tell them you're trying, I continued. And when they're older, if they want to reach out, I won't stop them. Thank you, he whispered. When we stood to leave, he hesitated. Can I hug you? He held me tightly. He was crying. I love you, I said. But love isn't enough. You have to do the work. A year later, another letter came. 2 years sober. He'd been promoted. He was volunteering at a recovery center. I don't expect anything. Just wanted you to know I'm still here. Still trying. I showed it to Emma. She was almost 11. Do you think he's different? She asked. I think he's trying, I said. Not yet, she said. But maybe someday. 6 months later, she changed her mind. I think I want to meet Dad, she said over breakfast. We arranged it carefully, supervised, short. A park in Reno. Ryan stood when he saw her. She studied him. He looks different, she said. They talked for 30 minutes. Ryan cried. Emma didn't. When it was over, she said, Good weird. Not bad weird. Over the next year, they met once a month. Ryan never pushed, never asked for more. He just showed up. December 2029. Ryan called. I met someone, he said. Her name is Angela. She's in recovery too. That's good, I said. She'd like to meet Emma and Liam someday. If that's okay. We'll take it slow. I said. Thank you, Mom. That evening I sat on the porch watching the sunset. Rex lay at my feet. Emma was inside doing homework. Liam was playing video games. I thought about the ski lodge, the text that changed everything, the key that didn't work. People thought I'd walked away, but the truth was, I finally stopped disappearing, and by doing that I saved my grandchildren. And slowly, carefully, I found my son again. Not the way it was before, but something new, something honest, something earned. The key that didn't work unlocked everything.